Welcome to She Said That Out Loud, a place where we have inspiring, simple dialogue of our thoughts and ideas about concerns we face today. Is anybody on? Because I can't see what's coming through. I can't see
So
it on
we
my
just
end.
went live.
Oh, so on here I'm supposed to be able to see the comments coming through?
In the corner it say live.
I see live, but what about the people's questions and stuff?
On the side it say comments.
Oh, over there where it says private chat and comments,
Yeah, click the comments.
it says live viewer comments show up through the StreamYard. Okay, all
Hmm.
right. Well, let's see who.
Hey, we got two people on. Talk so we know who you are.
Yeah, because we need to be able to see your comments to make sure they're coming through. We're using a new platform
Yes.
called what is it called? StreamYard.
StreamYard.
And this is the first time we're using it, and we need to know that it's working. So make some
Hmm.
comments in there so we can see that it's working like we thought it would work.
Yes. So let's get into it, Amy.
We ain't getting into it yet. Let the people come on in a little
Oh
bit. Who
Lord.
else is here? Who's here? You looking at the names? I can't see the names.
I can't see the names either. Just go ahead and talk.
Okay, well, anyways, let's go ahead and talk. We're going to get right on into it because I see Robin want to jump right into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
We
Let's dig
wanted.
into it.
Oh, I can see your post, Robin, so that's good. Maybe they're afraid to say something. Okay. Anyway, so we wanted to talk
Hmm.
about a lot of things that's going on. We just talked, I
Hmm.
think it was like on Wednesday, and we were talking about lots of things, but one of the
Hmm.
things we were talking about was Tamar Braxton.
Yes, Tamar.
And I said,
Bless her heart.
I know, I said, I listened to the video of her boyfriend. Is it the boyfriend or fiance? What is he?
I think he a boyfriend. I don't know.
Okay. I listened to the 911 tape and I told you, I said, something sound fishy about that tape.
Well, I don't know if something sound fishy because different people react to stress different ways. So you don't know, he was probably just overcome with emotion, didn't know what to say, didn't know what to do. So when you're confronting with such a stressful situation, especially you don't know if somebody's going to live or die, you don't know what you're going to do. And
And
he,
that's true. That's true. I mean, if I was in a situation, I probably wouldn't know exactly what I'm going to do. But did you
so
listen to it?
tell the people what happened with Tamar.
But did you listen to the video?
Yeah, I listened to it.
You listened to it and watched it.
I didn't watch it. I listened to it.
Okay, so what I thought was fishy
But they
was,
don't
and
know.
I'm
They
not
don't know what you're talking about.
okay. Tamar Braxton
Hmm.
allegedly attempted to commit suicide. We don't know why she did it.
Hmm.
But maybe she had been under some stress. There was a email that circulated that I seen. I think it might have been on TMZ or one of those stations that showed that she was having some type of dispute
Hmm.
with her employer, because that's what it is. I mean, you may be the executive producer or producer, but
Hmm.
Hollywood is going to let you know who holds all the cards very quickly, and we've seen that. We've seen that a lot lately. So that's why I say employer.
Hmm.
She had some kind of contract dispute, and she was in the letter. She was saying how when she first came up with the idea of the Braxtons, it was to show the Braxtons in a positive light, to show that we're a family that uh uh we're a good family. We make she wanted to show them
In a positive way.
in a positive way.
Hmm.
Some kind of something changed along the way, and they got caught up in that whole reality world drama,
Yeah.
and then the show went from positive, being a positive influence, to just junk, just like everything else that's on the TV screen.
Yeah.
And she got caught up some kind of way, and she became the star, but she became the star in a negative light.
Exactly.
And so I guess that's what she was basically saying in so many words in the letter to them. And she was saying she can't breathe. She want out of her contract. I don't know if
Hmm.
she exactly said she wanted out of her contract, but she wanted something changed,
Hmm.
because they changed. They just took her little baby and ran with it and developed something else. And so she has some issues with that.
Yeah. So she tried to commit suicide or harm herself, but that's why it's so important that we take care of our mental health. We have to take care of our mental health so that you won't let these situations and these jobs and this money make you lose your mind.
Well, she had an option though. I mean, this was her baby, right? She
But once,
created, this was her thought
hmm
process and this was her idea. So
hmm
she had to, it seems to me she should have had some pull. Obviously there's something that we don't know. There's something we don't know about how it works behind the scenes when it comes to Hollywood, because she obviously don't have a lot of power to be able to make the decisions that she wants to make, and she
hmm
went along with it. I mean, what do you think?
well, I'm sure she don't. When you are a uh, product, let's say, when you are a product, then you don't have as much pull that you think you have when you dealing with the big industry people, the people that may have all the money and have all the power and have all the say so. So you just their product. They want you to perform and do what we paid you to do and shut up. So I don't think they have as much power as we think they have.
Yeah, being that they were the what? Producer and executive producer, I thought.
I don't think she had a no executive
She didn't, or was
privileges.
that Vince?
That was Vince in Braxton Family Values. But
Well,
I'm
you
talking about
know.
this new thing she's doing. But
Oh, that's what I was talking about, the family values. What were you talking about? Because I don't really keep up with any of those shows.
this new, hey Vina, how are you? Thanks
Hello.
for joining. Well,
Hi.
this new thing, it all boils down to, Amy, is mental health. It all boils down to mental health.
Well, she did say something about she can't breathe, and she said something about she wants the shackles released off of her because she feels like a slave,
Hmm.
basically. And
That's
you know
because she
what?
didn't have no power. She
But
didn't have no authority. She just can go around and act a fool and get paid for it. And they want her to act a fool and then get paid for it and shut up.
But you know what? Anybody can say that that's an employee of any company
She's an
because,
employee.
yeah, yeah, anybody can say that because we're not calling the shots. So
She found out that
would
she
you
wasn't calling the shot.
consider that a slave?
I would not consider that a slave because a slave works without pay. She worked and she got paid. She decided to do this job, and so she's working, she's getting paid, it's affording her this beautiful lifestyle that she aspires for. And so, no, I don't consider her a slave. I mean,
Okay.
some people may consider her a slave, but she got paid
Yeah, you got paid and
and
you
she
agreed.
signed the contract.
You agreed at that amount of pay. So I do agree.
Hmm.
So obviously her she had some mental something going on, because her
Hmm.
boyfriend said in the recording that, this is why I thought was fishy. He brought up the contract dispute. Now you got somebody that you love laying on the ground. Why would contract dispute even come up in your mind? Like, you should be looking at, like, hey, what can I do to help her? Like, what, you're on the phone without 911, but like you said, you don't know what you're going to
People
do when you're
react
presented with that
differently.
situation. But he was talking calm, cool, and collected. He was talking calm, cool, and collected. And
Then
he
he broke
said,
down.
yeah, and he was like, well, she had some dispute today with we, and then she's been drinking a lot, and she's on depression pills. That's what he said.
Hmm.
She's on depression pills and she's been drinking a lot, and he found her, and then
Hmm.
then that's when his voice started getting.
Well, he probably was just rambling. I don't know. He seemed like he was trying to figure out what happened, and he was just rambling to me. He was just rambling. But like I keep saying, Amy, the bottom line is we need to take care of our mental health. Because if you don't take care of your mental health, you'll blow your brains out.
Well,
Everybody
and
looking at you on the outside thinking you're doing great and fabulous and you have this Ooh, we drive this car, had this house, had this man, had these children, and guess what? You ready to blow your brains out because you are not happy. That's why you can't just be happy. You got to have joy. Hey, hallelujah. You got to have joy. Unspeakable
Uh,
joy.
well, it seems like specifically in our community, I can only talk about my people because that's all I really know about.
Mm-hmm.
There's a stigma about mental health and going see a therapist. I personally don't think nothing's wrong with going see a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
If your leg is hurt, you gonna go get your leg checked out by the doctor. So if something's
Right?
going on with your mind and you having some thoughts and you like, okay, I need to go see somebody about that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're supposed to do. Your
Right.
mind is a part of your body just like anything else, but for some reason you mention anything about counseling or going see a therapist, it's not ain't nothing wrong with me. You can go if you
Uh-huh.
want to, but I'm all
Uh-huh.
right. I don't understand why people do that.
Well, it's cultural. It is cultural. The reason why I say that is, um, well, I can just talk from the African American perspective because that's what I am. Even though I'm culturally aware and culturally competent, but black folks don't never want to admit if they're depressed, if they're having anxiety, because they'll think that everybody will think that they're crazy. So they don't want to go to see no doctor. You mention anything about a shrink, anything about a psychologist, anything about a psychiatrist, it's taboo. No way. What the African Americans have been known to do for years and years and years and decades and from eons on is to go to church and use church as your therapy. You
Mm.
use church to shout it out. You use church to praise it out. You use church to
Ah.
make you happy. We get so addicted to the adrenaline that we get from going to church and going to hear the pastor preach and tune it up, and you haven't had church until the pastor holds his ear and you say, yeah. You haven't had church
Ah.
until
The music.
the
You can't
music
forget about the music.
starts stirring down on the inside. You haven't had
Whole
church
routines.
until you have that experience that makes you feel better. It pulls you out, tabasi, of it pulls you out of that depression state that you have, and then you become addicted to the adrenaline,
Ooh.
addicted to the church worship experience, addicted. And so you don't think you need, but the thing is, it's only temporary.
Getting
It's
high. Getting
only
high on church.
temporary.
Getting high on church.
It's only temporary. So the high that you get from going to church and it's so wonderful to be in the presence of the Lord is then you leave and then you still confronted with them same demons that you just massaged.
Ah.
She hollering over here. You just massaged, you just caressed, you didn't confront. You didn't confront them demons. So then when you get in the still of the night, Amy,
Uh-huh.
that's why
Oh, in the still of the night. Oh, when you're alone and by yourself.
in
Some
the still
start
of the night,
blue.
you still confronted with that same depression because now you never dealt with it, Amy.
Oh, and see, that's the hard part. People don't want to confront. And I'm not, you know what? I'm not even going to say people. Even I don't want to confront.
Ha! Make it personal. Make it personal.
Sometimes you don't want to deal with whatever that's going on, so you just sweep it up under the rug.
Yep.
Or you just throw it in the closet and close the door and
Mm.
act like ain't nobody, you can't see that.
Yeah.
Nobody can see that. I'll deal with that later.
Exactly.
Then next thing you know, the clothes start busting out the closet and you can't even close the door no more.
Amy, the skeleton knocking. The hip bone connected
And you
to the
pushing the
to
door
the
closed.
backbone.
You pushing it. You pushing it. You trying to close it up. Push the socks back up under there. You pushing it closed.
It's
You
busting
gotta
out.
confront. You gotta confront, and you gotta deal with what
You have
is going on.
you have to deal with the issue so you won't be at the verge of blowing your brains out, taking pills, drinking yourself into a coma. Ah, we have to confront these issues so that they won't overwhelm us, and then we look like we don't have no way out. That
Everybody's wondering what's going on is because you haven't spoke up. And sometimes it's best to just go ahead and go to a therapist instead of going
hmm
to somebody that you know, because sometimes everybody don't have to know everything. And there's some people that you may tell something to, they use whatever is going on with you that you've shared with them, and they
hmm
use it against you in some kind of way to try
hmm
to, you know what I mean, uh
yeah, you got to talk to a
s-
professional.
stick daggers trying to use
Yeah.
what I said against me. So sometimes you don't have to tell everybody. Get a
No,
third party.
no, don't tell everybody. That's the first mistake. You have to talk to a professional. Yes, let me see what they're saying, Amy. Faith says, "Speak, sisters." All right, Faith. Vina says we all have some undiagnosed mental issues.
I believe there's
There's a
definitely.
little bit of crazy in all of
I,
us.
I, I do believe that. I like I tell my husband sometimes, I say, I know it's just the two of us when it come to me. So if I got another side of me, I know you got another side of you. We
Oh
all
yeah.
have different sides
Yes.
that come out. If I'm at
hmm
work, I act one way.
hmm
I mean, I'm consistently basically the same, but you do
You
act different.
consistently crazy. No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on what room you in, there's
Uh
certain
huh.
things you can't say. If I'm talking to you and we acting silly and we doing what we do, I'm not finna go to work doing that.
Exactly.
You know
Exactly.
how to, them people gonna be like, you need a leave, a paid leave or something. But you
That
know what I'm saying?
different behaving differently in different circumstances and different environments. I don't think that has to do with crazy. Now, extreme changes in your behavior. Okay, let's talk about that. Extreme highs and extreme lows. Then we have to somehow balance you out. But
I think everybody,
when we change, everybody does that. Change. Matter of fact, Hillary Clinton does that. When she talks,
everybody does that.
when she talks
Everybody
to
does that.
a black audience, then she'll put a little southern drawl on
Yeah.
her voice. You know, she'll just kind of all of a sudden get that countryness in her. But it's when you have the extremeness of the behavior changes, then we need to look at you and further evaluate. But yeah, there's a little bit in each of us. There's a
I
little bit.
think I think there's definitely anxiety. I think everybody
hmm
has a little bit of anxiety. Is
Yeah,
what you do with that anxiety. How do you handle that anxiety? That's
exactly.
the difference. Because if I
hmm
feel anxiety, you can use that to propel you to the next level. You can use that whether you about to give a speech or something. You feel some anxiety. I'm all anxiety. You can use you can be up there stuttering, scared, but then you can use like everything in you to turn that into a positive conversation. It's like you
uh-huh.
have to change the energy, like for your good. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. You got to turn it around. Vina says it's called bipolar. I say yes, it is called bipolar when it's extreme. When it's
Yeah,
extreme.
if it's extreme, like you need some
hmm
some help. That's different.
Yeah,
But you're right.
interventions. But yeah, we can use the anxiety for our benefit. We can use that adrenaline for our benefit for sure. It's all in how you handle it. Because I even think TD Jake said that when he first started preaching, he was stuttering and shaking in his boots. But
Stay tuned for part two. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.